Probability based questions you are not able to do?
Yes, sir.
Have you done the solved examples of SCV? Yeah. Okay. And exercise question also you have to do. HCV itself will be enough in this. HCV and previous ID, nothing else you need. Previous ID and HCV, 2 books only for all the modern physics topics. Probability. Probability that if I have a nucleus, C14 nucleus or any nucleus, what is the probability that it will decay in T time? What is the probability that the nucleus will decay T time?
N by N naught.
So probability of not decaying in time t can be given by number remaining after time t. Number remaining after time t. What is the formula for number remaining after time t?
M is equals to N naught into e power minus lambda.
Nt upon initial number n0, or we can say n naught. That is n naught into 1 minus e raised to power minus lambda t divided by n naught. So what is the probability coming out to be? 1 minus e raised to power minus lambda into t. What is the probability of decaying in time t? This is of not decaying. I think you can understand what will be probability of decaying.
E power minus lambda t.
Yes. Because total probability will be 1. Either it will decay or not, will not decay. Nothing else will happen. Probability of decaying in time t.
Sir, number of active nucleus remaining by total.
Reverse.
Yes, sir.
Or both reverse.
Both reverse means I don't understand what it means.
For not
Oh,
decaying.
sorry. Formula I
Yes,
formula I
sir.
have written wrong, right?
1 minus naught. Sir.
Formula number remaining after time t is e raised to power minus lambda t. That is remaining after time t.
Yes, sir.
I said right, but formula I wrote wrong. Number remaining after time t will be this. So e raised to power minus lambda t. That because these many will not decay. By our formula, we know that these many will not decay. These many will not decay after time t. These will still remain alive. So the number which remains divided by the total initial number, that is the probability of not decaying. And the probability of decaying will be opposite of it. That will be, as you were saying already, 1 minus e raised to power minus lambda into t. That is the probability of decaying in time t. This is of one molecule. What about if one nucleus? If there are two nuclei and we want to discuss for those, what is the probability both decay? What is the probability both don't decay? Then you know that much probability now you can tell, I think. Can you? This is probability of not decaying of what? Not decaying of one radioactive nucleus. Just it is the probability of decaying of one radioactive nucleus. What is the probability of decaying of, if there are two nucleus and I say one nucleus A, another we know these are mutually exclusive events. You know how to take the probability of mutually exclusive events. Probability of A into probability of decaying of A into probability of decaying of B is equal to probability that both decay. I don't know how do we denote in maths, but I am just denoting in this way. Probability both decay is equal to probability of decay of A into probability of decay of B. Right or not?
Yes, sir.
That is how we can do. How many possibilities are there? If I draw the chart A, B, decays, no decay, not decays. Decays, one possibility, does not decay. Wait a second, how should I represent? Okay, both decay, this I don't need to write. I can do directly this way only. Both decay, both don't decay. This decays, this does not decay. These are the possibilities. So what is the probability of the first one? What is the probability of first event? That both decay, two nuclei were there initially. One decay means probability of decaying. Minus lambda t, e raised to power minus lambda t. What is this? Both are not decaying. 1 minus e raised to power I just wanted to check what will be the probability of total event. Will it be 1 or not? Probability that A decays. What is the probability of decaying? Decaying is 1 minus A decays, 1 minus this. Probability both decay, 1 minus e raised to power minus lambda t into again that only square. Probability both don't decay, e raised to power minus lambda t square.
Sir, in the first one, it will be into e
What is the
power minus
sum of-
lambda t, no, sir. B not decay also.
Yes, sorry. Into e raised to power minus lambda t. And I think last case also.
Yes, sir.
Also
Multiplied by 1 minus 1 minus lambda t. Now let us see, sum of this come out to be 1. Should come out to be 1. X into x, 1 minus x square, x into 1 minus x. These up. We get 1 minus into x into 2 plus minus x.
Sir, voice not audible, sir.
You just see, is it? Can you see it? I'm doing here. I'm finding net probability.
Now visible, sir.
Now only visible, sir.
After you drew the table, everything was stucking, sir.
After I have drawn the table, everything was stuck. You did not see this. Wait a second, let me go to another room. Okay, now it is okay.
Sir, it is visible now. No, it's not a
So are we getting it 1 or not? I was.
Yes, sir, getting one.
Sir, one.
Yes, sir. Getting
No,
one.
sir.
1 only. So net probability will be 1. So this we discuss if there are two nuclei. Okay, and we are observing what will be the probability of their decaying and what will be probability of not decaying. Both decay, both don't decay. This is how we can find probability. So you know how to find, right? If you know how to find probability of 1, then you can find probability of 3 or 4 or 5, as many as you want. You can find for those. Right or not?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, if I have n molecules in a sample and I want all of n, those which I am looking at, those should be decaying in certain time t, then what is the probability of their decaying? Then the probability of their decaying will become 1 minus e raised to power minus lambda t raised to power n. If there are n and I want all of those n to decay, then this is the probability. Okay. What else was there? I told you, Pritam, remind me probability, and what else I told you to do?
Sir, 1
Pritam.
minute, sir.
Nuclear reactor was also there, I think so. Question based on nuclear reactor.
Nuclear reactors and temperature also, sir.
Temperature.
Yesterday you said about
Yesterday,
voltage, no, sir. Similarly
one
about
question
temperature.
that question was pending yesterday's. That if I want to, let's say one hydrogen atom, I want to fuse into another hydrogen atom. So what should be the energy that it should be carrying? If I assume that it carries a thermal energy, which is equal to RMS speed in temperature T, what will be the RMS speed in temperature T? That will be 3/2 kT will be equal to that is it. Let us say it has, this time it has VRMS only, that speed only it is carrying. If it is carrying that much speed, will it be able to fuse with the other one or not? How to tell? So what is required to fuse? So to require to fuse, we know it should be able to come so much close enough so that it is able to just almost enter into the nucleus. How much D should be? D should be equal to of the order of 10 to the power minus 15 meters. What is the voltage required for that? Voltage required for that, it should be able to come up to it should be able to come Kz upon D. Up to that much close it should be able to come. Kz into E also should be there, no? Here I think where I missed E. Charge, why I missed it? And
Q.
E should be there.
Sir, it is final potential difference, sir.
Final.
Final also should be KZD, no?
Yes.
Hmm.
No, sir. This is only in electron volts, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it was in
Electron volts.
Electron volt.
Let me check what am I doing here. K cube by, okay, it was in electron volts, right? Understood. Normally this is the formula in volts. This was the potential. What potential I should have? So wait a second. KZD by D. Let me start again. QV was equal to 2E into V. Then we got from here 2E into V. V is coming out to be equal to 2KZ E square, I think.
No, sir. In joules, E square, sir.
In joules only, I'm saying. In joules, it will be E square. If I write in joule, then it will be Q into V will be equal to 2KZ E square by D. Right? And Q here is equal to 2E. So Q will cancel with 2E. 2 into E, 1 E cancels. Q cancelled. Then we are left with KZE by D. That is in SI units.
Volts.
If it is in here, first of all, QV was in joule. Obviously, if it was everything was in SI unit, then it will be like this only. All right. If okay, understood. That I had written KZD by D already in electron volts. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Right. But I think V will be KZD by D only then. KZD by D, that is V.
Yes, sir. No, sir. KZ by D. if taken in electron volts. K Z D by D if taken in volts.
No. Yeah, the point is not that. V is voltage only. The voltage will not be in electron volts. Voltage is in volts only, which is in volts always.
Yes, sir.
That will be KZD upon D only. This is not energy. This is just volt. That will be 1 unit only. There is no other unit for it. So that will be KZD upon D only.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we are getting here also KZD upon D. That is the voltage. This much voltage it should have. What energy it should have then? If it has again, let us say alpha particle only. If it is alpha particle, then 2 Q into V. Q into V will become 2 KZ E square by D. That Q into V. That is the energy which it will be carrying. This energy, let us say it is getting from this place, 3 by 2 kT. Let us consider it equal to this. Last time I gave it by accelerating through potential V, but this time it is getting that energy by 3 by 2 kT. Let us say it is giving it this energy. So 3 by 2 kT is equal to 2 kz E square by D. It is gaining energy because of thermal energy. Then what temperature?
Sir, hydrogen atom.
I assume that let us take last case only, alpha particle only.
Yes, sir.
Last case only, and ZD, it is colliding with ZD, but this time I am just using temperature instead of I'm not accelerating it by potential B. Instead of that, I'm saying that this energy it is gaining, this kinetic energy, whatever it is gaining, let us say it is gaining kinetic energy half mv square, and let its velocity be equal to Vrms at the given temperature, at temperature T. Let its velocity be equal to Vrms at temperature T. Then in that case, I'm writing it as 3 by 2 kT. For single body, I cannot define temperature, but it is given, you assume it to be given that its velocity is equal to the Vrms value at that given particular temperature. So what is it coming out to? What is the requirement of temperature? Wait a second, again I'm doing something wrong here. I think I should not write that way here. I should write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Reason is
KB.
K for Boltzmann constant is also coming, no? K is also for Boltzmann constant here. So I will be writing this 4 pi epsilon naught. Then we get Ts. What we get now to cancel Z E square by 4 pi epsilon naught into D and K, Boltzmann constant K.
In numerator 4 will be there, sir.
That will be cancelled by 4. Yes, I have not cancelled it. That will be cancelled by 4. This is our value, and then what do we get after putting it? If we take some values, means just estimate you want to get, then estimate you can have. 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 or 9. Just get the estimate. I wanted to give you estimate that this temperature requirement will be much larger than the temperature at in the sun. I wanted to give you that estimate. Okay. You can do that yourself and you can find out what is it coming out to be. Third question is of nuclear reactors. That question I will take from previous IIT book.
By 180s.
Alpha particle of 5 mega electron volt is scattered through 180 degree by fixed uranium nucleus. The distance of the closest approach is of the order of. Can you find out the distance of closest approach? Alpha particle has energy 5 mega electron volt, and it is returning by 180 degrees. Means it is just going and coming to stop. What do we get then? Can you do it? Just equate this 5 mega electron volt equal to
Potential.
5 mega electron volt energy comes from kz square. Z I don't know what is for
By
uranium.
D.
If you know
92.
2z square by
235, sir.
D.
Uranium.
We want to find D. We want to find D, and because it is in electron volts, so I can do one thing. I can convert it into joules. How to convert into joules?
Into
1 electron
1.6.
volt is equal to 1 electron volt unit is equal to 1 E times joules. Then now this E is the, this you bring from here, then it turns into SI unit, 1 E joules. So this E can get cancelled from here, and if we do that, then this is not volt now. Now it is in joules, and that side also in joules now. Once we cancel 1 E with the other E, mega means 10 to the power 6. Then it is 5 into, let us see what it becomes. 5 into 10 to the power 6. Electron, one electron will cancel with 1 electron, and that other electron charge will be 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, and K is equal to into 9 into 10 to the power 9. Z I don't know. 2 into this. Z is I think for uranium 235
Yes, sir.
or not.
Sir, Z you have 92. Sir.
92 is that, huh? That is A. That is A. That is not Z.
92.
92. 92 into 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into this upon D. D we want to find out. So I think we can get idea of D from here. 92 1.6. We can get estimate. Can you get it now? You can get it from here. In centimeters and in angstrom, just convert into proper units and you will get answer anyway.
10 to the power minus 12.
10 to the power minus 12, whatever it is, you can check your calculation later on. Other questions of uranium nucleus are these. For uranium nucleus, how does its mass vary with volume?
Proportional.
Directly proportional.
2V.
This is of nuclear reactor. This is what I was looking for. Question number 34. Please do it. Do this question. 34, 35, 36, 37. I want you to finish these 4 questions today within this class itself. These 4 questions, 34 to 37. Take your time, finish these. When you will be stuck somewhere, I will be guiding you through. What do you mean by percentage efficiency? Let me tell you here a few things so that you can understand. 10% efficiency, what does it mean? It means the energy which we get from the reaction. That complete energy is not utilized to produce electrical power. Some energy will be wasted. What energy of the reaction will be consumed to obtain electrical power? 10% of that. So out of 200 mega electron volt, how much we will be getting? 20 mega electron volt we will be getting. And from that we have to generate how much power? We need to generate 1000 megawatt. So how much we are having? We are having one reaction is 20 mega electron volt is available. That is available for us. Total is 200, but 20 mega electron volt available. And how many such reactions I should have? N times this should come out to be equal to n reactions taking place per unit time. How many reactions should be taking place per unit time so that I get energy of 1000 mega joules per unit time? Now, what means joule per second? So I can say if I take number per second, then this will also be joules per second. This is number per second here. So n is not representing the total number reacting. N is representing number reacting per unit time. N is representing number reacting per second. Okay. So how many reactions I want per second in order to be able to get 100 megajoules of power? So how to convert into joules? I told you very simple way. This electron volt is a unit, but convert the unit into electron separate and multiply with joule. That is the way to convert into simple way to convert into SI unit. Just take electron as a number, and then it will not be unit, it will be in joules. Can you find out n from here? How many numbers we need? 1000. M is cancelled with m. 1000 upon 20 into e will also come in the denominator. That is the number per unit time we need. Number per unit time. Or here, or n is already representing. N is already representing the number per second. N is representing that. Or I think, why should I call it n? Well, let us call it dn by dt in order to be 100% clear. What is it? It is number reacting per unit time. I think you can get it from here and value. What else we want here? We want here, if the reactor is to function for 10 years, what is the mass of uranium required? Once we know how many numbers we are consuming per unit time, how many number of nuclei we are consuming per unit time, then can we find out the total number of nuclei consumed in 10 years?
Yes, sir.
We can find out the number of nuclei consumed in 10 years. We have to multiply this by 10 years. 10 years means we have to convert somewhat time it will take. At 1 day seconds, you should remember, I think 86400 seconds in 1 day into 365 days into 10. That many seconds. This has to be multiplied with the numbers consumed per unit time. But that is only giving us the total number consumed. But is it giving us mass? No, it is not giving us mass. How to get mass? We should know what is the mass of one atom.
Into 235 units.
Then
AMU.
yes. That we know. One has 235 AMU mass. 235 AMU means that if I have 1 mole of uranium, that will be having 235 gram mass. 1 mole will have 235 gram. Okay, do this now. I have told you almost everything, but please get up to the answer. And not only 34, you have to do 36, 37, 35, all this. Those who have done 34, they can move on to the second question. Attempt yourself now, and after that, if you're stuck somewhere, then you only ask. Chandan, no need to record. Stop recording. Chandan,
Yes, sir.
no need to record. Stop recording. Okay.